We're going to start on time. And as you know, LinkedIn Local is all about learn and prosper and grow. And we're going to do a little bit of a different introduction. We're actually going to say who we are. And what we're going to do is say, what are you most grateful for? What's the first thing that comes to mind? So we are going to let Gracie go first so that she's ready to be able to present the slides. So Gracie, go ahead. What are you most grateful for?
I'm Gracie Ruth, and I'm grateful for you guys being here tonight. It's always great to connect with meaningful connections. So thank you.
All right.
Hi,
Awesome.
Connie. Hi, Evelyn.
Hi.
Hello. All right. Renee's going to go last. So I'm going to go along the row as I say it. Nicola.
I'm Nicola, and I am incredibly grateful to not only be invited to this, but able to, with COVID and everything, that we're still able to do it and meet everyone from all different parts of the world, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Bradley, you're up. So I'm just, yeah.
My name is Bradley Lyon, and I'm grateful for my health. I think especially as we go through this time, I think I've gotten healthier during the COVID and than I've ever been. So I've been able to spend more time on healthy things. So I'm grateful for my health.
Awesome. All right. Asia.
Hey everyone. So I am grateful for a couple of things. First, I'm grateful that I got to meet all of you this year because this year has been a strange year, but creating new connections and friends have been amazing. And second of all, I am grateful to have a roof over my head and the ability to still be able to pay rent right now, despite the fact that I am unemployed and looking for work at the moment because of the pandemic. So grateful for everything that's going on right now.
All right. Okay, Karina.
Hi, I'm Karina. So I'm grateful first to have a healthy and a very good family, and secondly to be surrounded by a lot of good friends.
Uh-huh.
Here in LinkedIn.
Good.
Yeah, woo! All right, Mina.
Yes, grateful for the family and of course my health at this moment, the extra time that we have to be able to get new engagement.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Hey, Vernon, he's popped on. Hey, Vernon, how are you, man?
No.
I'm good, and yourself?
Yeah, so we're doing a little intro and what we're grateful for. So that's...
Well, like so many people, I'm grateful to be healthy and safe. I'm grateful for the friends that I have and business colleagues and associates. And I'm grateful that my business is moving forward. So, everybody that I know is, with one or two exceptions, everybody that I know is healthy and safe, and everything is looking good for them.
Awesome. All right, Miss Connie.
Hi, everybody. So something that I'm grateful for the whole year or just like this week?
Whatever comes to you.
Whatever comes to mind. Okay. I'm grateful that this week my high school senior daughter submitted her first college application officially. We took pictures. It was very exciting. So it's fun to be hopeful and looking forward to next fall when she will not be at home and will be off on her own somewhere. So that was fun.
Right. So let's do the clap and then Gracie, you can, we like to do a clap picture. So everybody come on for Connie's. Yay! All right. Got the picture, Gracie?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Okay. Hey, JR. So we're doing a little intro. Just say who you are and what are you grateful for? What comes to mind right away?
For me, I'm grateful to have connection with spirit within me. Wow, that is like where it all happens. And experience every day. Every time I experience something new, it's like, oh, I have a new unfoldment right here in front of me, and I just appreciate that. So,
cool.
I'm grateful for change.
All right. Okay. I think is it Gabriella? Yes, Gabriella. So what are you grateful for? First thing that comes to mind.
I am grateful that our experience with COVID was nowhere near as bad as many of the stories I hear, and we are finally over it. We had suffered for the last 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. All right. So is it Rosita?
Yes.
Now how you say it. Hi, Rosita. So we're
Hello.
just doing a little intro, and what are you grateful for right now, or what comes to mind?
My family and being able to see them daily. It has frustrating moments occasionally, but for the most part, I'm very grateful to have them in my life.
Awesome. All right. So Evelyn, hi.
Hi. I'm grateful for a roof over my head and a warm bed and all my friends and family, and I'm in good health.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go back up the line. Punita, say
Hi.
hello, and I think Punita's traveled the furthest to be with us.
Thanks so much, Bruce. Hello, everyone. I'm from Mumbai, India. And what am I grateful for? If you ask me right now, I'm grateful for my second LinkedIn family that I just built over 5 months.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you're family to us, even though you're in Mumbai. We're still coming for that tea. So, all right. Is it Natalie? Natalie.
Yes, hello. I am grateful for the fact that the people I know who, everyone's staying healthy, basically. That's really it. Those who have been sick, like Gabriella. Hi, Gabriella. I didn't know that you were sick, but I'm glad to know that people are doing okay. So
awesome.
That's the most important thing in my world right now.
All right. I did just see, hey, Maria, we are doing a little bit of a different intro. So just say who you are and what are you grateful for? What immediately comes to mind?
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm going to be so quick. Thankful for all of you, you know, for this group. I wasn't able to attend last month. You know, LinkedIn, meeting new group, new connections. Just thankful for my family. I have a job and meeting new group of individuals whose you know, likes and values are the same as mine. Thank you.
Awesome. All right.
Welcome.
And I'll see you tomorrow night as well, Maria. Maria's
Yeah.
happy. She's going to be.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody.
Thank you.
All right. So Tony, are you joining us? We're just doing quick intros and what you're grateful for.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can hear you, not see you, but go ahead.
Oh, give me 1 second.
All right. There you go.
All right. Sorry, I'm joining kind of late, guys. Hello.
Hey, Tony. All right. So we're just doing a quick intro and what you're grateful for, whatever comes to mind.
Well, I'm Tony. I'm thankful to be alive in this year. Of nobody knows what's going to happen next. So we get to be alive, we get to be breathing, and we get to do something different. So I'm sure I'm thankful for that.
All right. I'm going to go next, and then Renee is going to take away our learn section. Just to remind you, LinkedIn Locals are all about learn, prosper, and grow. And even though we couldn't do that in person, face to face, Gracie and I have figured out how to do this virtually with all your help. So I'm Bruce, the guy in the blue shirt, and I'm grateful for a couple of things. My wifey bought me a new tie. Say it's Christmas. This is the first time I've been able to wear a tie in a year. And the last time I was grateful to go to my wife's sister's wedding in the Philippines. And the second thing I'm really grateful for is all of you. And the third thing is this is the original blue shirt and it still fits. How about that? It's getting a little worn under the arms, but at least, you know, from neck up, it's still good. All right, so Renee, you can do your intro and gratefulness, and then we're gonna have you present.
So what am I grateful for? I know it's gonna sound odd, but I'm gonna say surgery. I lived with a lot of pain for 6 years after I had fallen from 10 stories. And so it's been a long journey to get to even have surgery. And so I had surgery October 14th, and I've been living pain-free other than soreness from working out. So
wow.
it's been pretty amazing.
Yeah. So you say it was a long journey. 10 stories was a long journey too.
It was painful.
Oh, I can't imagine, man. All right.
It was painful and my stupidity. So
Yep.
I cannot blame anyone for what happened. It was my fault.
Oh, well. Okay. All right. So Renee's going to do the learn segment, and you're going to do something. Well, I won't take away your thunder. So, all right, go for it, Gracie. You got some slides ready?
So my name is Rene Farias, as some of you know, and for the last 25 years, I've actually been a commercial print and advertising photographer. And what that means basically is that I work with ad agencies, or I've worked with ad agencies for the last 25 years to produce what I call visual assets for their clients like Budweiser, Banana Republic, J. Crew, Billabong, Women's, numerous other top brands like Toyota, and a lot of celebrities as well, and entrepreneurs. My work has just been across the board. In 2018, I decided that it was time for me to start working with small businesses, since in my mind, small businesses are the fabric of America. And so I noticed a struggle with a small business contact that many small businesses don't have the assets or the revenue to hire large ad agencies or marketing firms to market to their target base. So in 2018, that's kind of where I moved a little bit around. I still work with ad agencies, but not as globally as I used to. Gracie, go ahead and go to the next slide. In the previous slide, I mentioned that I call photography, video, visual assets. The specific reason why I call it an asset is because there's only two ways to own this, either through purchase or through or investment or gift. There's no other way to own an asset. There's no other way to obtain an asset except in this manner. Most companies are going to find a way to invest money, purchase photography, purchase video. But at the same time, I always like to say that it's so important that when you're investing, to do research. Most people would not purchase a car without research. Most people would not purchase a house without research. Most people would not even, even an insurance policy without research. However, a lot of people do purchase photography without research. They just assume a pretty picture is all that they need to market their business, which is far from truth. Go ahead to the next slide, Grace. So when we're talking about producing images for an ad campaign or for marketing, whether it's personal branding or just general branding for a company, we always want to look at who you are. Okay, so we want to look at as a self-definition of who you are. But there is something a lot more to most people, might say something like, well, I'm creative, or I'm this, or I'm that. But there's always a lot more to that. It's not just a general definition. Go ahead to the next slide, Gracie. So in my opinion, as a company, you are not what you do, but you are why you do it. So I have an example of a realtor who only works with new homeowners. And so I asked the question, why do you only work with new homeowners? Aren't you limiting the marketplace for yourself? And he says, yes, to a degree he was. However, there's a specific story behind why. And his why was that he lived with parents who struggled, making rent, who struggled always moving from house to house, never actually owning a home themselves until they bought a house when he was a realtor. And he helped them purchase that home. So for him, it's really important for young families and for families in general just to purchase a home, have that as an asset for themselves. And so that's his why. His why is he's emotionally tied to wanting to help people purchase. So that's kind of where I think a lot of people make the first mistake in their marketing, in that they have to identify that why. Once you identify the why, then you can actually build a marketing campaign around that why. Whether you're an attorney, whether you sell widgets to lumberjacks, who cares? Whatever it is that you might do, identifying the why is so greatly important in order to proceed with your marketing plans and campaign, and also the visuals that tie everything together. Go ahead to the next slide. So with that said, your visuals should always match why you do what you do. Never think that just because you have a headshot, that's good enough. Never think that because you have an image that you pulled down from a website somewhere, a stock image of some sort, that's a great why, because it's not. You have to be able to target your audience, whoever that is, whoever you're selling this widget to, whoever you're selling houses to, whoever you're selling insurance to. You have to be able to micro target those people. That's how you wind up with the best offers. That's how you wind up being able to help the most people. But that why is probably the most important part. There's a story, I don't know if you guys have heard of not a pharmaceutical company, but a coupon company that is rampant right now. And what they do is, with the phone app, you can download the phone app, go to the pharmacy, and get big discounts on your pharmaceuticals, okay? Their why is an interesting story. The owner, the CEO, had family that was close to him that passed away from not being able to afford to buy pharmaceuticals. So his why, he's passionate about helping anyone and everyone to do this, right? So so that's part of his story. Now the company is trading, very successfully, and it's worth a multi-million dollars, really. So, so those are the kinds of things that when you're thinking about marketing, when you're thinking about visual content, you have to build your why into it, and also understand who your target audience truly is. Go to the next slide. So when you're building brand awareness, and I'm sorry for some of you that I'm going a little quick on because we don't have a lot of time, so I kind of shortened this presentation from 17 slides down to 7. So excuse me for that. So brand awareness, you must have a plan to process. You must put things together from a marketing standpoint, whether you work with a marketing agency, whether you whether you do your own research and do it yourself. That is like the key is planning. Executing that plan is where I come in to help you build that, or someone like me comes in to help you build that. But the marketing plan must be put together just flawlessly in order to target your right audience. From that marketing plan, and a lot of times, if some of you have been in marketing, we call it a marketing brief. But if you understand that, then from there, we build your brand identity visually. We build your visual plan as to how you're going to utilize or distribute images, how you're going to distribute video, how you're going to distribute really all of it, the whole 9 yards, really. But what is really, I cannot stress more, planning. That is the biggest thing that people go into. I get phone calls and say, yeah, so how much do you charge for pictures? I'm like, to do what? What are you selling, Or I'll get a phone call that might say, I don't know exactly what I need, but I know I need great photos, or I need a great video. And again, I come back to say, where's your marketing plan? Where is that at? Where are you going to start? So please understand that any successful business of any kind, whether you're a really large company or whether you're a small micro company, planning, marketing, understanding your target audience, understanding your why, and understanding who that is for is so critically important. One of my clients from last December, came to me with something similar. And as a matter of fact, I think Rosita may know who she is. In a second, she'll be able to see who she is. But she came to me with the question, like I need photos, I need some video, I need to present myself commercially a little bit better. And so we went down that path. We talked about the why. I asked a lot of questions. And I also, she's actually a tax attorney. And so I asked the question, why? What is your why? So her why at first was something like, oh, my father, was a tax attorney. And I said, that's not your why. That might help, the process, but that's not exactly your why. I said, let's dig deeper. So we did dig deeper. Eventually we came up with her why, and then we produced photography and video commercially that just really exploded for her. So next slide. So in a recent email, she sent this, I'm also writing. So there's obviously other information that we were talking about. I'm also writing because, my 3 marketing people, so she has 3 marketing people on her team that is outside of her law office, actually. Love your work. They say it's great, professional, great quality, and bottom line, it was a great investment. So the great investment part is the important part, meaning we did research together as to what she needed, what the desire was, who she wanted to attract more of, and we developed a plan. And then we executed that plan and then handed over to her marketing people to do the rest. So in a nutshell, that's visual branding, visual marketing. Again, it ties into all of your other marketing plans and ideas. You have to tie it all in together. And the biggest thing is the why. Why are you in business? Why does Renee want to buy from you? Why, you might be an insurance agent. There's 1,000 of those suckers, like right around the corner. You might be in financial services. There's 1 million of those right around the corner. You might be in real estate where there's 2 million of those right around the corner. So why you? Why would I want to do business with you? And so that's the important story building that we need. So I guess you can come off of the share, and
awesome.
I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, round of applause for Renee. Yay! Yay, Renee. All right, who has a question for Renee? I have one, but I'll go last.
You may want to
Renee,
go first.
I want to ask you a question. I loved your presentation, Renee. Thanks so much. This is Punita here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All the way
Super.
from Mumbai.
Yes. I want to ask you, once we understand the why and once you understand the USP of the XYZ brand, basis the budget, how do you design the plan, the marketing plan? I normally design it basis the budget. I add social media, I add SEO, I add SEM. So what do you keep in mind while you're designing the plan? Do you keep in mind the budgets? Do you keep in mind something that I should keep in mind for any brands that I'm designing campaigns for?
No, I think every brand should spend $100 million. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Renee.
I think what I like to look at is we have to always consider budget, obviously, but there's also areas that sometimes we can cut. An example of that is I had a client who came to me and said, listen, I'm doing all these other things. So they showed me all the things they wanted to present through. So they had some ad costs. So they were planning to put up some ads. They were planning, some SEO and on their SEO, what they wanted to do in the SEO, and things of that nature. And so they came up with a number, their number, what they were comfortable with. So based on that number, I then customized a plan specifically for them. So, but I actually did recommend that they cut their ad costs a little bit, just because I didn't feel that particular type of company was going to do well in ads, in that it was too specific of a company in what they were doing. And to be honest with you, they were a lumberyard. And so they're very specific. They're very, very specific. And so I said, we want to target who your client base is, right? And so their client base was not every builder in the world. Their client base was high-end builders. So only builders that were
HNIs
in the LA market of over 5 million. So I said, so in order to target them, we have to do something a little different. So the ad cost of where you're going is not the right place. So I just redirected them, and then we actually, it's interesting that now they even were able to get an interview with a top lumber magazine. And so that's coming out. So we shot the cover. So that's coming out in February. So that's pretty awesome that through the process, we were able to get them some free, you know, advertising and marketing. So
that sounds
It's
wonderful.
amazing.
You'll have to post that one when it comes out, Renee.
Yeah.
Yes, you should.
Yeah, I absolutely will.
I had one more question,
Okay.
Bruce. So
Go
I
ahead.
want to check. Yes, I want to ask you, like many brands that I work with, they are small, medium enterprises from all over the globe and stuff. And many people do not want to do ad spends because of the budgets. So I kind of completely sell this whole thing that you have to focus on doing organic content because content is king. If you do content marketing for 3 months, your brand can be a win-win. So I want to know your thoughts in terms of how can organic content win over your brand in terms of brand awareness, in terms of engagement, in terms of conversions.
Well, some of the things that I talked about in the very beginning was the fact that I'm a commercial print advertising photographer. So a lot of people get that confused. They think that commercial print does not exist anymore, which is false, completely false. Anything that is not moving, so anything that is not a video is actually commercial print in the world of commercial advertising. So anything that is in actual print and an ad or, you know, posting. So for instance, you could post an image with a message tied together to gain organic, traffic, and that would turn around and still be considered an ad in commercial print. So you can do it the right way. You could still look like an ad and it can still be have great amount of traffic to it. More importantly, within that, you also still have to have a call to action, just like you would have with any ad. So you have to tie it all together. Every post can be an ad. Every single post can be one. As a matter of fact, Mina is one of my clients, and I mentioned that to her a long time ago. Like every single post could be an ad. You know, you can keep pushing that process. Every post that I have eventually has a comment area where I will have a comment to connect with me in some way, you know? So it is important to understand that you can do ads even as posts.
Yes, thanks so much, Renee.
So somebody else? Different question. Come on, don't be shy.
Mina has
I think Mina and Rosita, I think, have something.
Yeah, I have one as well at the end. So,
well, to share with you what I actually came across was the opportunity to be in a club membership, and that's how I met Renee. And it was just a simple conversation, and it takes its time to, you know, make a conversation happen. Many people would just like to go right in and start diving. What's your price on this, that, and the other, just from a title of a business card that you gave them. Wrong thing to do. You don't want to do that immediately. So it's been my expertise, and I teach this to let them know that that's what the masses do. And you don't want to do that because if you're in a membership club, you want to take the time to see, is this person really going to be something that you are going to consider for yourself? Is there any confidence in between? Do you see eye to eye? So it took a couple of meetings, kind of like, you know, okay, let's discuss this. And then eventually I had a business dinner meeting with him. And it was in that location that ended up being the site that we ended up having just the week prior to COVID. So we're halfway done. What he did for me is I was looking for something to replace a business card. I was looking for something that was going to speak what I do and tell my story. And so after I spoke with him, not only did it take conversation to understand, but he says ad. I need to understand, are we talking a virtual ad or are we talking in hand? So he created something for me that went from a simple little card, which I've had for quite a while, and we all have that. And we get stuck with what are we going to say about ourselves and so forth. So it's a good contact piece because that's what you have to get a hold of someone. But if you have your theme, which he helped me put through, and if I will, I'd like to do this because I want to give him, you know, the consideration of what he did. This is the trifold he did for me. See? So we had these photo shoots. And what that is this is what I offer. So he did that. Now we go back like this. So when you open it, you're knowing what you're seeing. And he laid that out for me. So all of this took physical time, which COVID did not allow us to do anything after that. So we did a lot virtual. extra work. We started diving in what really matters now virtually, because we got to go virtual. What happened to me is I gave this personally to people. Oh goodness. Let me see what's happening here. Hold on one second.
You're
I
good.
have an incoming call.
You're
And
good. You're good.
You're good.
is that okay? Well, my screen went away. That's what happens when you have an incoming call. So my point is that he captured everything I needed on just 2 double-sided. We went triple. I didn't need anything bigger. And people focus on the picture and the story it said. So this has taken me to volumes, but it's a personal way that I could put a note to it. And they said, we really love this. We love what you have virtually, but I'd like a couple of more of these if you have them. You just don't know where it's going to go. So this is what he did for me. I asked him, I heard him say something about print. I said, that's what I'm interested in. I need to have something in hand because not everybody I deal with has the access like we do. And isn't that so right now with the educational learning? A lot of children don't even have that. So they missed out a whole semester. But when you have something in hand, I just want to, congratulate him for all he did for this, for me. He made my company grow, and that's what I needed.
Awesome. Question?
Beautifully done.
Yeah. Who wants to go? Gabriella or Rosita? One of you. Question from one of you.
Go ahead,
So-
Gabriella.
Excuse me, sorry. Hi, Renee. I haven't seen you in a while. That's probably my fault. We chatted before. So you have a background in working with large businesses, very large budgets, very well-known businesses. And now you're working with small businesses. So what, as a small business owner, with a smaller budget, obviously, what can we do that we don't realize or think that we can do just as well as and on par with the large, with the Budweisers and the you threw out Banana Republics and stuff. What do you recommend? What is very cost effective that we don't realize and we don't recognize that we're actually quite capable of?
I think that one of the things that most people completely misunderstand in marketing, just in general, marketing, is that going back to the why and to your target audience. And so targeting, understanding who you're going after is probably the key. How you get to them is the roadmap, visual roadmap that you build. I don't mean to say this in a derogatory way, but we all must understand that visual content is the most important content, and it has been for decades. I mean, well over a century, in that we are motivated by what we see. Meaning, I say it this way, unless you're blind, legally blind, when you see something, you get motivated by it. So whether it's, I don't want that, or hey, that's a great pair of shoes. Where do I get that? Or whatever it might be, right? Whatever it might be. So I think it's important to understand, one, who your target audience is, your why, and build the roadmap visually to get there, and then approach them either through direct marketing, which, emails, newsletters, blogs, also through, I don't recommend high amounts of advertising, but sometimes that is appropriate depending on where you're advertising. And then also, is there a way to specifically tweak that? I'll give you an example of what happened to me recently. A couple of months ago, someone reached out to me about advertising in their magazine. So I pulled the demographics of the magazine, and I realized that magazine is actually perfect demographics for me, like literally perfect. That's 6,500 women, 6,500 business owners. And so that's perfect. And so I said to them, I would rather not advertise with you unless you want to give me an ad, but I would rather write content for you. I would rather write for you instead. I would rather put together, a branding series that takes 6 months to a year to roll out, so that your reader can understand branding better, can understand visual branding, can understand marketing better, can understand how to make choices for the right photographer, right video team, and how they need to do that. Now, this is not going to cost me anything to write these articles, except of course my time, which is valuable, but but taking my knowledge to approach those. So do I have $1 million to drop in the next quarter? The answer is no, but I have 6,500 eyes that can look at my content. Does that make sense? So now I'm targeting them. So I'm taking images that I've created of different clients and different things I've done and putting that into the mix as I'm approaching people. So I hope that makes sense.
All right. Rosita, you're up next.
My concern is like with any type of marketing is the amount of time that I need to allocate for the meeting, for the branding, for the shooting and stuff. What is like a very basic package? What kind of time commitment does it require?
That's a good question. I think that's probably one of the biggest questions I have that people ask me. Is like, what do you know? I don't even have a full day, to commit to this. And so to answer your question is there's a couple different ways to do things. One of the things that I mentioned is planning. One of the mentions is I mentioned execution. What I mean by that is if you plan, like an example of that, Mina and I, I'm glad you are here, Mina, because you said some things. But Mina and I met because we could. Past April 1, I haven't met anybody in person until we got to the photo shoot. So I've done a lot of this kind of meetings. So we'll talk about what we need to plan for, how we need to lay things out. So just take the whole process virtually. And then once I do that, once we set the call date, so meaning the photo shoot or video shoot, whatever it's going to be, or if it's both, then we plan for the day. I only do 4-hour segments. That's it. So I can shoot photo and video in 4 hours and get it done. And so the reason for that is because the plan has been put in place, and all we're doing is putting in the water in the pot. So and every pot might be different to fulfill the whole marketing plan. But in 4 hours, I can usually do most small branding for a small company. Larger companies will take a lot longer, but I've done photo shoots that are 4 hours, and I've done photo shoots that are literally 4 weeks. So, but my whole point is that if you do proper planning, Rosita, there should be no reason why you couldn't knock out the visual content in person really quickly. And then it might take, in post-production, it might take, a couple of weeks, maybe meeting once or twice to have a 1-hour meeting to go over content and go over what we're doing. So, it's possible. I mean, I just think it's a matter of organizing our time together. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, that dovetails into my question, if I may, which is the cycle time, not the segment time. So what's your average cycle time, Renee, from, the first discussion? As Mina said, she had a conversation with you, a couple of conversations. What's the average cycle time? Is it?
I think, yeah.
2 months?
Yeah, it all depends. I mean, I've done things literally within a 4-week period from start to finish. I've done things in a 3-month period from start to finish, and I've done things in a 6-month period from start to finish. It just really depends on the project. I would say with most small companies, I would say 45 to 60 days is the right time. That's in general. Okay. Yeah. Again, I'm generalizing here because I don't have specifics, but in general, it's going to be at least that long. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is we don't want to rush the planning process. That is the one thing I'm going to stick to with every client. And again, that comes from my advertising background, is that we don't rush the plan. We can rush the execution, but we cannot rush the plan.
Yeah, that's well said, Renee.
I think Bradley had something.
Yes, I had one more. Yeah, what's interesting, it's not really a question, it's just that when you were talking about, finding out the why for the marketing plan, but, that's so important in every part of a small business. And it's an element that, that once it's great that you do that. It's unfortunate if they haven't found that out before they got to you. But, once they get that, that'll can shape their whole business and their whole, vision and their mission statement and everything that they're going for. So I think that's so important I mean, it's great that you bring it up, but it's unfortunate that you have to, because they should know that if they've got a business, you know.
Yeah, but I think that there's something that you're hitting on that's a little different. So you're hitting on, let's say that you have a mission statement, okay,
Right.
and so they already have that in a general. When it comes to marketing, it's a little different. Marketing is a different animal altogether. When we talk about marketing, let's just say that, you know, a mission statement has something like, we're here to protect your family. Okay, you know, New York Life used to say we're the company you keep. Okay, great. Okay, wonderful. How many New York Life agents are there? A ton, like a million or more. Okay, so you're the company we keep. Well, why would we keep you? What's the why in there, right? So if you dig into the why of the reason why, it's interesting, you know, as to the fact that they pay dividends every year and they have forever, like they have since the first year. Okay, great. So that's part of the investment strategy for them, right? So that makes them a secure company. So I mean, I can break that down into an hour conversation. So that's marketing. Taking that and pulling it into marketing is their true why. Okay, and so there's a lot in that. Right. So it's important to understand that marketing is a little different. Like I know that Rosita is a family law or an attorney, you know, and estate planning attorney, and there's a why. There's a why. Why is she a estate planning attorney? I guarantee you, it's not because it's generational. I think that it's more than generational, if it is generational at all. So I think that she has a heart to protect families and to protect, you know, my grandchildren. She would have a heart to protect my grandchildren the day I die, you know. So there's a lot more to just the fact that she's a brilliant attorney. You know, it's a lot more to that. So even if she has a mission statement today, that's not the same as a marketing mission statement. It's not the same as a why for marketing.
But they still would need a why to be why they're in business. And
absolutely.
I think, and you know, I think that most businesses should have, you know, I mean, they really can't succeed without a why. And right. From that comes your mission statement or your vision, but your why is why you're there. You know, it's like we ask 6 whys, we keep going deeper and deeper, you know, with each, which like you were just saying, it's an investment, and it's investment because it gives dividends, and why, to get deep to see exactly what they want to do. But I guess you're right, because in the angle of, it's one thing that's why you're doing it, but it's another is how you need other people to know what it is you're doing and why they want you to do it for them.
Yeah.
Very good, thank you.
All right, so how about last question?
I just want to say that Renee, he did my branding photos, and the other day one of my clients she mentioned that she really liked the photo that I have on my LinkedIn banner. She says, it looks so me. It doesn't look fake, it's me. And the face, the hair, it looks me. So from his camera, he was able to bring the real me, compared to, you know, when I first started my business, I just grabbed whoever had a camera who said that she was a branding photographer, and she took pictures, but I look like this, like I'm, you know, like do I look good like this? And she took the pictures, and I was like, oh, I don't like any of those, but tough, because I didn't do my research. But he did wonderful.
Yeah. So last question.
I think Tony had a question.
Go ahead. Question
or a thought.
Okay. No, yeah, I do. So suppose you find the why, you understand the marketing idea, what you're going after. Do you get involved in the creative process? Are you capable to? That's the thing that I've been struggling the most this year, and I work with a lot of people throughout the year, is the creative process. I mean, I can tell you my why and what I want to marketing, but the creative process comes in from the person that I'm entitled. Let's just say, keep it simple, stupid. I'm hiring you. Help me with the creative process. How do you see we can execute this? What do you think it makes more sense? That's something that I struggle a lot this year. That I'm bringing in the creative, I'm bringing in the content, I'm bringing in the guide, and like the guys or the girls is like, do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get involved with the creative process?
Yeah. So a little bit earlier in the presentation, I mentioned that I am a commercial print and advertising photographer, also video. So that is the creative process. So the visual, building the visual content and the visual assets, that is what I do. But I take all the other steps before I get there. So all the other steps are greater to me in importance than the execution of creating photography, creating video, creating content. So
you do help him with the creative process that he's looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Mina, and hi, Sarah. So.
Yes, thank you, Bruce. Yes, and to Gracie's point as well, one of the things that we all know that the most positive conversations happen face to face. I had that opportunity prior to the environment that we have now. I would definitely encourage that you have a conversation at least this way, so that when that opportunity comes when you can go in person, or if because it's going to require not having the mask and what have you, because what Renee helps convey is what we don't see. And he might see a whole different color of clothing on you. And you're thinking, I'm going to wear this because this is what I want. This is how I feel. And he goes, but the lighting that he has, that he's visualizing, may not be what you're thinking. So that light blue suit is going to turn out to be a really dark, like closer to black. And you're going to say, this was blue. How did it turn out black? And you have to give him the opportunity to let you know, this is what he's visualizing. This is what he does. He's the pro for that. I went through that. I took 7 outfits, just like he said. That's his natural thing. I said, I have specific ones. He goes, tell me what your 3 colors are. I told him what the 3 ones I wanted. He was agreeing with one of them, and he picked the other ones for me because he saw the venue and he saw what I would look in. I have dark hair. If you have lighter hair, that other suit may not have done what he thinks. So he has that visual professional impression that he would like to get out of you. And we have no clue what he's talking about. But then you see the result and you're going to say, oh, geez, because not only does he have the equipment, he's got it right here.
Yes.
I just wanted to give you that insight. Because I had my way and I told him, I don't like this, Renee. I want it this way. And it turned out we have to do it again.
Secret, Mina was the hardest client I've had this year.
Thank you.
Which I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I'll still give direction as professional.
Look at the result.
Look at the result. So there's 2 sides of the coin, right? There's yin and yang. So tug and push.
It's an investment. So just take every moment you can and be open about it. Be very transparent. If you don't like it, talk up front.
All righty. So are there any other burning questions? If not, I would like to just do a real quick round of maybe 3 or 4 people just share a tip, a big tip. It doesn't have to be a LinkedIn tip. It can be any tip that we could learn and grow from. So thank you again, Renee. Oh, go ahead, Gracie.
Yes, I don't have a tip. Thank you, Renee. This presentation was wonderful. And I will be sharing his slide deck to you. I will be sending it via email and the group picture. So thank you so much.
All right. Did you want to do another group picture? Because we've now got, can everyone come on video or? Look at that, boom, Panito's like, boom. All right, come on. So let's do another quick group picture because Gracie uses it in her, storytelling on LinkedIn. All right, so do you want to do the clap or what do we want to do?
I like the clap. I like the clap.
Okay. All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
I got it.
awesome. Okay, so who has a tip? I have one to close. So go ahead, JR.
Pandiculate daily.
What did you say?
Pandiculate daily.
What does that mean?
Yoga, Tai Chi, Pilates, martial arts, pandiculate daily. It's great for the body.
All right, that's a great word. I've not heard that one before.
I've never heard of that one before.
All right, somebody else. Tip.
Evelyn, label everything that goes outside your house, because if you don't, you'll never know where you lost it, because then someone will be able to call you up and say, hey, I've got your planner.
Yeah, good idea. I left a laptop in an airport once. Oh, and it was
So
labeled,
good.
unfortunately.
I found someone's wallet once and returned it to them because their information was in it.
Awesome, Sarah. Well, you are such a great citizen. Welcome, by the way. All right, different tip. Something that's not spoken yet. Come on. Oh, come on. You can't be that shy. All right.
Have a business plan. Have your business plan ready for 2021.
Ah, cool.
Good one. That's a good one.
Yes, good one. And if you need help with that, Connie's dealing with her most difficult client right now. Right, Connie?
Oh, yeah, you.
Me, correct. All right, so my little tip, actually, I've stole this. If you don't know Tisha Maria Pelletier, go watch her live today. So she said, come up with your top 20 accomplishments this year. Just write them down, right? Because it's been a long, tough year. And Connie's going to love this because some of the aha moments are going to go back into our clarity of Bruce's plan. So yeah.
Bruce, why was the middle of your paper blank?
Why? You're not supposed to.
You're supposed to be 20. What happened in between?
Well, I started my corporate job, and then I had to go eat, and then I came back and see. So you're not supposed to notice, Sarah. Stop it.
I think Vernon had something to say. Vernon.
Actually, thank you, Renee. Probably the biggest tip that I can think to share is that we need to make sure that we take some time and step off the grid. 15 to 20 minutes in the morning, quiet time for meditation and prayer before your day gets underway. I can't begin to tell you how valuable that is.
Yeah.
Right. So
And
that's
make
when
it a
I
habit.
went to sleep in the middle. There we go. How about that, Sarah? I went to sleep and stopped writing.
And then after you do what Vernon just said, then you love people unconditionally.
Oh, I love
Love
that.
people without a plan. It doesn't matter if they can give you something. It doesn't matter if they can. You love
True.
people unconditionally.
True. Well, as long as we're on a roll, then Renee, I will also add to that we need to, and I thought that the beginning, Bruce, that you did, what are we grateful for? Oh man, that's invaluable.
Yeah.
That is absolutely invaluable. So that should be a part of your stepping off the grid, having some quiet time, and just begin to think, and what am I grateful for? Well, the fact that I woke up and I'm drawing breath, we'll add that. And then along the way with everything that you do, but gratitude.
Yep. Gratitude. Yeah. Gratitude to attitude and all the way back, right?
Yes.
Hey, Bruce. Bruce, Sarah and Brenda did not get to do what they're grateful for.
All right. Yep. Thank you. All right, Sarah. We did an intro. What are you grateful for? Just right off the top of your head.
Right off the top of my head, I'm grateful that the moon is out tonight and it's beautiful.
It is. All right. Okay. Where's Brenda? I missed Brenda. All right. Yes, Brenda. Hi, Brenda.
Hello. I'm grateful for not getting COVID and being healthy.
Oh, good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
All right. Are we?
Can I share 2 tips?
Yeah.
If you can do them in 2 minutes. 2 tips in 2 minutes.
That'll be less.
All right.
Number one, mindset matters. No matter what you do, even if you're successful, if you don't have the right mindset, you won't stay successful. Mindset matters. Number 2, always do whatever you're doing, always come from a heart-centered place, because if you're not being heart-centered, you won't be happy. and then you won't have a good mindset.
I love it. Core to brain and brain.
Wonderful.
All right, one more tip.
I've got one.
Who said it?
I do, Bradley.
Oh, Bradley. Hey, man.
I've got one. Compliment somebody every day sincerely. You'll make their day. It'll make your day that you're making somebody's day. You can always find something to compliment. You know, if you're going to the store, your cashier, whatever, compliment at least one person every day.
Yeah.
Tell them they look nice or whatever. I like your shirt, Bruce.
Thank you.
That
Well,
blue
I
shirt.
always do the store, the shelf replenisher. When I go, I don't go to the grocery store very often now, but when I do go, I always go say hi to the store replenisher and say, hey, thank you for being there, because we forget those, you know, they're as essential as anyone else. So
Absolutely.
especially if you want to eat, right?
That's right.
All right, so we are actually at time.
Well,
Paul?
Bruce, that was the fastest presentation I've ever done.
But hey, it was one of the best. So you know what they say, Renee, sometimes less is more,
Yeah.
right?
Renee is great. I love listening to him.
Oh, thank you, Vernon.
He's a great voiceover. Did you
Yeah,
ever
me and my radio voice. They always tell me I should have been in radio. I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, hey, add it to your portfolio, voiceover. I offered that to somebody with my British accent, and they said, oh my gosh, you're from England. Because I don't say it like that, you see. But when I do, she said, oh my goodness, you have such a pure accent.
I tell you what, when I retire from photography and production, then maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
But keep in mind that artists never retire.
That's right. Hey, we could be the maybe Muppets. How about that, Renee? You can do it in your lingo, and I'll do it in mine.
There you go. There you
So
go.
right.
Bruce,
Hey!
what's the first 3 on your list of 20 for us?
Do you want me to start from the bottom up or the top down?
Well, if you do the bottom up, that's not your first 3, is it?
I labeled them 20 down to 1 because that's how Tisha did it. It makes you think upside down. All right, my top one is, simplest one is learning Zoom, Calendly, and Zoho, putting all that together. My number 1 most difficult one is all my LinkedIn lives. So, and then I have family stuff and all that jazz in between. The heartfelt family one is obviously grateful for my wifey who puts up with me, and I've increased the amount of times I communicate with my eldest sister in England on purpose. So,
good.
All right, JR, you got the hat on. All right, okay. Well, if you're gonna do the hat, I'm gonna.
Oh, look at this!
I'm gonna do the mask. How about this? Look at that. All right.
Okay, I'm gonna show you my hat, my latest hat.
Oh, all right.
Wow.
Gracie, that's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I would have got my dog. I don't have anything else.
Oh, cute.
That's all I've got.
Oh, Gracie has an attitude. Remember that.
Yes.
You have a
Oh, look at that mask. Wow.
Yeah, with
you have a
bling bling.
fascinator on.
Yeah. No, this. Yeah, she does have a fascinator. Very good. Anyways.
Yeah, I have a lot of them.
All right. Yeah, she does. If she has a bad hair day, you can tell she always wears her fascinator. Right, Gracie?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I will be sending you an email.
Happy New
Thank
Year.
you so much. It was fun.